Morning, everybody. Sarah. Well, it's not morning anymore either. It's afternoon. Sarah, beautiful disaster. Welcome to my channel if you've never been here before. And for those of you who have, thank you for tuning in again to listen to my free therapy. Although I'm not really going to focus on me today. I think I want to, well, not as much. There's a lot of things going on right now. Yeah. um, yeah. So I posted a blog post this morning. It's actually one I wrote about a year ago called The Importance of Non-Importance. And what I essentially wrote about was that it's important to understand that you cannot force your worth onto other people, that you cannot force other people to see your worth and to respond the way that you think maybe they should. Part of that post, though, was talking about how your importance can be fleeting and that you need to understand that the importance you have to other people changes and sometimes evaporates, unfortunately, and how you have no control over that and you need to be prepared for it. I was coming from a major place of hurt when I wrote that, though, I think. There's a lot of aspects of what's going on in my life, what has been going on in my life, for a long time now, that I don't talk about and don't deal with very often. But when it comes to the life advice that I inadvertently give out to other people, I think in this instance I was wrong. One of the things I've learned a lot over the last year is that it's important to validate and acknowledge the people in your life and how you feel about them, and not let that fear of stop you from things. So I branched out of my comfort zone a little bit a couple of months ago and got burnt. As is inevitable, I think, usually in my case. It just sort of, and I'm going to cry and I'm sorry, and I'm going to try not to. Not that that particular burn is causing it. It's just, it's the newest in a long slew of. I have learned that there are certain boundaries that it's okay to keep up. There are certain boundaries, though, that it's okay to let down. And for me, I have spent literally my whole life, and I wish I was exaggerating, but I'm not, at least from 10 years old on, doing my best to be there for the people that I care about while simultaneously keeping them at bay from me. Letting walls down in a controlled manner, that I give pieces of myself, but I do not ever give whole. And the reason for that is because it hurts less when someone leaves or changes their behavior, if you can convince yourself that you were never important to begin with. And that's true. It is easier. It's also really stupid. The last person I let in 100% into who I am, into the core of who I am, was Alex, I think, but not even completely. I mean, when he passed away, there were still aspects of me that I would keep locked up. Like, I'm a really lovey-dovey type person, very sentimental, and most people don't know that. Alex didn't appreciate it either, so I would just tightly lock. And it stayed that way. It has stayed that way, and it hurts. It hurts every day. Trying to keep those aspects of... And that's the thing that I guess I'm learning now, is that inevitably, eventually, those walls that you build up around yourself, that moat that you put around the walls, the alligators that you then put in the moat, and then the flamethrowers that you put where it's not going, feel great in the moment, but it takes for me, it has taken years to realize that my walls hurt me more than I think I realized they did. Because I tried to open up more so than I normally would. And the burn had nothing to do with that. Like, the inevitable outcome, or not the inevitable, but the outcome of that whole situation really didn't have anything to do with me. That, for me, is a really hard pill to swallow. I am very used to blaming myself for when things go wrong because, and maybe this is another fault of mine, I've let people let me think it was. It's easier for me to take on that responsibility of being too over the top, too much. I've literally spent at least for the last 20 years, 30 years, not 30 years, the last 25 years thinking that I needed to dull in order to be accepted. Because somewhere down the line, and I don't really know where it started, somebody told me that I needed to sit down and shut up, essentially. To the point now where I will mitigate how much I'm talking to people, like specific people, really. But I will feel like I'm being annoying, and I will literally pull back as hard as I can, because it just feels bad to be present for people. For me, not bad. That's a wrong word. It feels unnatural, I guess is the best way of putting it. I do not want to be out in the forefront of someone's life. It kills me when I am. Being a priority to someone is scary. And so I wrote this big blog piece about how to not be a priority and how important it is to not be a priority. And I'm finding that I can't survive like that anymore, and I don't know how to fix it. And so I caution you all that if you've been reading my blogs and watching my vlogs and everything for the last couple of years, that I've been coming from a place of good intention, but I'm growing. I mean, I think we always are. And I acknowledge now that as a human being, I cannot always be in the background. And I have to let myself be important to other people, and I have to accept that. Doesn't mean I'm going to be all naive about it and not understand that even when you're important, it really doesn't mean too much. And I think that's also a hard pill for a lot of people to swallow. Somebody can like you, somebody can love you. Your friends, your family, your significant other, your, people that you're trying to be significant others with, what the hell ever. I mean, whatever the relationship status is, regardless of what that feeling is, it really, in the grand scheme of things, doesn't mean much if the other person isn't also reciprocating that. I have taken great strides to make sure that the people in my life knew that they were important to me, but it is very uncomfortable for me to be important for others. Alex included. It's hard for me to talk about this particular aspect of this because there are things I don't regret anything in my life. That's one of the things. Like, I don't struggle with that. I always make the best decision in the moment that I think I can. I try not to let things stop me from being who I am, but at the same time, and how I feel. But at the same time, there is a large amount of fear for me in letting go of that. And with Alex was a great person, very loving, very caring. Because of how I am and how he was, it was very easy for me to accept that I was not important. Not that I wasn't completely important, that for Alex, it was made very clear very early on in our relationship that I was always going to come second or third. Or fourth or fifth in certain circumstances with certain people. And I took that. And it hurts now because I don't know how I let myself slip down to that level where Alex loved me, and I know he did in his own way. And there toward the end, I was very important because I was there. I stuck through it because I proved to him that I was going to stick through it. And for Alex, that was important because a lot of people had left him behind too, and it hurt him very badly. And it literally took 7 years before I kind of went to the forefront, even though I was his wife. What kills me now is that I accepted that level of disrespect and that level of pull backness as normal. And it's not. And I don't think I've ever experienced anything other than that in my relationships. And that's something that I'd like to change. I just don't know how. Like, it's uncomfortable for me to, like, I want the people in my life to be who they are and to be happy and to be fulfilled. And I, in general, think that that means me being as unpresent as humanly possible. Regardless of what somebody says to you. I have, again, taken great strides to make sure that I can fade into the background if I need to. And I'm getting tired of losing people that way, though. And I think that's a product of maybe of my age and my maturity level now, or the fact that I'm just sick of not feeling like I matter. But not because other people are making me feel that way, because I don't feel that way. Because I have let myself experience that. And somehow or another, I convinced myself that was the best way to go. And it's not for me anymore. At least, at the very least, it's not for me anymore. So let yourself examine kind of where you're at with people. And if someone tells you, I shouldn't say tells you, if someone shows you that you are important, that's something that you need to acknowledge and be reciprocating of. Like, let yourself feel that. Let yourself take that. It is scary. For me, it's scary. I can only imagine for other people it is as well. But, you know, it's my little PSA for today. Losing people is inevitable. Losing relationships is inevitable. Fading for some people is inevitable. And removal completely is inevitable. But in the heat of the moment, don't wait until you can't get that validation back before you're acknowledging how people feel and letting yourself be in the forefront if you are. I think I've given everyone the impression that I'm comfortable being to the side and not, I don't know. But it's not going to be happening anymore, regardless. So, anyway, if you've read along with the blogs and everything, you may want to go and take a look. I posted a couple recently, and I'm sure I'll be posting some more on this because a lot's going on right now. But I will talk with you guys all later. Bye.